Lance Vieser, and you know it's college football season when you see this guy, Dennis Dodd from CBSSports.com. Welcome in, Dennis, and we got to ask you a quick question about Derek Washington. He's a story this week. Obviously, we know he's not going to be around for at least this Illinois game, and possibly it sounds like a bit longer. How big of a blow is it to Missouri? We know it's going to impact them, but how big of a drop-off is there?
This is huge. I mean, you've got a guy, you know, their leading rusher obviously ran for 1,000 yards 2 years ago. I think he's caught 69 passes the last 2 years, one of your main offensive threats. No depth behind him, or virtually no depth. They may have to play a freshman, or they only have one scholarship running back behind him. It's a blow, and I don't think they're going to have him back anytime soon. They can beat Illinois without him, but going forward, it's really going to be tough. And given the sordid details of what allegedly happened, you can't think he's going to be back anytime soon.
So, first game against Illinois, do they have trouble then without Derek Washington?
Well, I think they definitely do. Now, Illinois is down, and they're breaking in a new quarterback themselves, Nathan Scheelhaas from Rockhurst. And they'll have their own problems. They have the problems defensively. I think Missouri will probably win that game if they have to outscore Illinois or win an ugly game. But certainly with Derek Washington, it makes them a prohibitive favorite. Now, maybe not.
Everyone seems to think that Missouri's going to be chasing Nebraska in the Big 12 North, and everybody else for that matter. Nebraska's interesting. Bo Pelini refuses to name a starting quarterback. They're ranked in the top 10. We know their defense is going to be good, but can you have a top 10 team if you don't know who your quarterback is and your offense struggled last year?
I saw an interview with him recently where he was asked, what is going to be the most surprising part of the team? And he said quarterback. Now, I don't know if that means they're going to be incredibly bad or they're underrated, but yeah, that's a weakness, I think, with Nebraska. And I think he's just playing games right now, naming a starting quarterback. The fact that he hasn't done it this late, we may see them play 2 or 3 throughout the season. In fact, I'd almost guarantee it right now. But obviously their defense is what makes them go. I think they're a little bit overrated in the top 10 at number 8. I don't know if that's, is good. They still have to go to Kansas State on that Thursday night. They still have to play Texas. That's going to be tough. There's going to be a game in there, I think, that they're not supposed that they want to win, that they're not going to. They'll be upset in. I don't think Nebraska's all the way back. But having said that, they're borderline prohibitive to win the North because there's not much there to challenge it.
Yeah, Kansas State has not named a starting quarterback yet either. We presume it's going to be Carson Kaufman, at least probably in that first game. Obviously, they have Daniel Thomas coming back, but he's going to be keyed on a lot this season. There's going to be no surprises out of Bill Snyder and that crew. So what are you kind of expecting from them?
Well, no surprise on Daniel Thomas. Last year, he snuck up on a lot of people. A Mississippi JUCO quarterback running for 1,500 yards. I think they'll develop some option things with him. Anything to get the ball quickly out of the hands of the quarterback, whoever it is, Carson Kaufman or whoever. He's going to be the guy, though. But I think he can do it. I think he's such a hoss. He's got a chance to be the offensive player of the year in the Big 12. 6'2", 228. The NFL's all over him right now. And don't underestimate Bill Snyder's ability to adapt. He got him down to the last regular season game last year playing for the Big 12 North title.
They get UCLA in game 1. UCLA beat them last year, but UCLA supposed to be down this year, ranked 8th in the preseason poll in the Pac-10, and they might not have their starting quarterback for that first week. Do you like K-State's chances?
Yeah, I do, and it's a revenge game, obviously, last year out there, but no, I like that, and the fact that they're going to have to play Iowa State here early. I think those 2 games are swing games. If they can get those out of the way and take care of business there, they can win 7 or win 8. I mean, the only reason I picked Missouri second in the North is K-State has to go to Columbia this year.
As for KU, we expect them to win their first game, but they're kind of an anomaly. To me, they have a new head coach, new quarterback. A lot of guys, though, left over from the glory years of 2 years ago who know how to win in this league. So what are you expecting from KU this year? The way Turner Gill has dealt with this, I think he's going at it, or all coaches go at it these days. You got to win now. There's no honeymoon period. We've seen him take Tobin Opram to linebacker, upsetting him and his family and a lot of people. I think a lot of players, because he was the leading returning rusher. Keaston Terry, the wide receiver from Blue Springs, is now going to move to safety. But he's the head coach. He's got to win right now. If this gives him the best chance to win, then great. Cale Pickett, quarterback, runs a 4.5. I think that works out the kind of thing he wants to do. A couple of years ago when he made his mark with Buffalo, I was looking it up. They went 8-6. They didn't go 10-2. This is what got him the job at Kansas. They went 8-6.
They beat one team ranked, and that was Ball State in the MAC championship game, number 12 Ball State. They did beat them. But after starting 2-4, they beat Army, Ohio, Miami of Ohio, and I think 2 others besides that. It wasn't impressive, but it was enough to get him this job. I think there's many questions about Turner Gill as there is about his team.
Considering that resume, do you think KU fans might turn on him early if they don't have a successful first year or two?
I don't think so, because it's KU football. Now, I just said they have to win, right away. I think that's him thinking that he has to win right away. He wants to win right away. But I think KU football, this is not KU basketball. They will give him, I think, a year's honeymoon.
Your predictions. Obviously, you got Nebraska in the Big 12 North. Who do you have in the South?
Texas by a hair, and it could check with me at the end of the week or next week. It could be different. I'm having a hard time getting past Oklahoma and all the offensive talent they bring back. Obviously, Landry Jones in a reserve, or not a reserve role, but taking over for Sam Bradford, throwing for 3,300 yards and 26 touchdowns is pretty impressive. Now he's the guy. Now the pressure's on. We'll see. Texas, though, I don't think Texas drops back from 12-1 to necessarily 9-3 or something like that. Garrett Gilbert got his baptism by fire in that championship game, the quarterback. They're going to go to a more pro set, be more physical, which I think Texas has to do if they're going to beat Oklahoma, which they have 3 of the last 4 years.
Who's your national title favorite?
I'm not going to pull any upsets. It's got to be Alabama right now. They've got the Heisman Trophy winner back. I think it's teams so deep. I didn't pick Mark Ingram in my top 5 among Heisman Trophy candidates coming back. They'll be very, very good.
All right, everyone, I hope you wrote down those predictions. If he's wrong, it's Dennis Dodd, CBSSports.com. Go check him out, email him, tell him how bad he is. Thank you so much, Dennis. Appreciate it.